we're gonna scare everybody away from building or doing contractor work.
Does this look like our handwriting? That looks like scribble.
That's not bad. I did another dumb thing.
Really costly, really quickly.
It's a lot for my brain to process.
Feel like I have accomplished things, but not quite enough. What's $85?
You'll never be alone. Indigo sunset. It's the only way to go. I've been waiting for the fallout in the middle of the night. In this dynamite.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the vlog. I have already had a productive or filled morning. I had a dentist appointment this morning. Teeth cleaning, just teeth cleaning. Came back and got ready because today is fun. We are actually, Mom's coming over. We're gonna do things. First thing we're gonna do is film for the podcast. So we have that. All of this stuff is still here. We're still waiting for the floors to dry. It's like 3 days. So I can walk in there, so it's good, but I can't put anything down. You know, we want it to be like, you know, really good, especially rugs. You don't want to put rugs down until 3 days. So we're going to be filming the podcast today. I need to set it up, this whole area, put the mics. I have been loving doing the podcast. It's every other week, so it's not a huge, like, time-consuming thing, but I've been loving just sharing that side, a different side. By the time you see this, yesterday I would have posted the episode 3 of the podcast, and I talked about our experiences buying a house cash versus a loan, because we've done both. This house we bought cash, and then our California home we bought with a loan. So I could finally speak to the process. And again, it's just from my own experience, our own experiences. Every situation is going to be different, but it's kind of like I wish someone would have just talked through it and like not the process like technically, but the experience of it all. And so I did that. So go check out the last episode of the podcast. I'll put in a clip from it.
You know, a lot of people had, when we were looking for homes, a lot of people had a lot of opinions, like in my personal life, like friends and family, or online, and people commenting that it's a really bad time to buy because of the interest rates. And here are my thoughts on that. You have to buy when you're comfortable for buying and when you're ready, and it's your money. And it's all happening to you, and you can take people's advice with not with a grain of salt, but just as much as you can. But when I looked at our situation, when we had been preparing for this for a really, really long time, and yes, it's unfortunate for it to be in a time where the interest rates were more volatile and more higher, you know, especially higher than they were in the beginning of the pandemic. But was that going to stop me from moving my life forward, or could I just fix it later? And I think you got into there were two kind of like thought processes when in this, especially this last year of purchasing real estate. It was either you were on the side of, oh, no, interest rates are too high, I'm pulling back, it's a horrible time to buy, I'm not doing it, I'm going to wait until they lower, right? And then you were going to buy a house when everyone else wanted to buy a house. And there were going to be, in California, 80 offers on the house that you wanted. And you probably might not even get the house that you like. That was like where I was thinking, you know, like, yes, you waited, but now there's so much competition. Or the other side is that you have less competition. There's because all these people had like stopped looking because the interest rates were so high. You have less competition. So this house had 8 offers. So we had a competition of 8 versus 80. So our competition pool was a lot smaller. It was a lot easier for us to kind of maneuver and hopefully get the house. There was possibility, you know? And that thought process, so not only is there less competition, but also you can wait and refinance the house later at a better interest rate when it makes sense. Yes, you have to pay to refinance your house, so it has to make sense with not only paying to refi your house, but also the interest, what you're going to save. It all has to make sense, obviously. We were in that pool.
So today we're filming episode 4, and it's with my mom. And we are going to be talking about contractor horror stories. I like to let the light in, so I open these curtains up. contractor horror stories, and my mom has some. She's obviously built for a really long time. She's got lots of horror stories. She's got some good stories. I obviously have some stories of my own, you know, through renovating this house for sure. And so we don't want to scare, I feel like we're going to scare everybody away from building or doing contractor work, but she's obviously been doing it for years. So the horror stories or what happened to her didn't steer her away from continuing to build. It won't steer me away from continuing to build. So we need to relay that and convey that it's like, yes, there are always crazy things that happen, but would we not do it because of them? No, but we learn from every crazy situation. So it's going to be a really fun episode. I really liked the way that it was set up for the podcast with the 2 chairs and the mics. It was so pretty. So I want to do it the exact same way because we also filmed the podcast. So it's not, you can listen to it wherever you have podcasts. You can also watch it on YouTube. Mom has made it here. We've determined that we can stray from topic quite easily. So we just get to talking about who knows, you know, really. This one is particularly about the horror stories. I have these like poster boards. So I'm thinking about putting it up just to kind of glance. So I've got 2 cameras going, 2 mics connected to a computer. I'm making sure that everything sounds good, is working good, all the batteries are still charged. Having a conversation with Mom and also trying to stay on topic. It's a lot for my brain to process. So I feel like if I help myself, I think this will help.
I don't know, I'm just talking. That's all I'm doing.
She's just like,
My job's hard.
and Mom just shows up, sits down. You got the best job.
I know.
We can like talk about like what we learned from each horror. You know, there's always lessons that come out of everything. I've got chairs. I've got mics. I need my computer. Need to plug that in. There's all these little moving parts. And then Mom goes, I'm overdressed. I was like, yeah, I haven't changed yet. I actually ordered, and a big thank you to ThredUp for sponsoring today's video because I love ThredUp. It's the largest online consignment and thrift store. And I love to thrift for home and clothes, but ThredUp makes it so easy for me to not go in a store. I don't like shopping in a thrift shop, like in person for clothing. Romeo does, I don't. So ThredUp has become like my savior. Like I love to go on there and sort for exactly what I want. So I have been filming the podcast, obviously, and looking a little nicer than I do when I do renovations. And I realized that I don't really have a variety in my tops. So I ordered a whole bunch of tops from ThredUp to kind of, you know, mix in. So I want to show you guys what I got and also figure out what I'm wearing. I have these white pants on, which are from ThredUp too, that I want to probably keep on. Mom, are you wearing white pants? Yeah. Okay, so we're both in white. That's okay. So let's see what I got. Look at this shirt. So I was looking for tops. I've got some great pants and some great bottoms from them already, but I really wanted a variety of like tops to kind of mix in and out to create like, I like to have like a capsule wardrobe. So this one is a cropped little neutral sweater. I love it. It kind of has like more of a boxy shape. It's originally from Zara. It didn't start out very much, but I saved even more. And ThredUp has a new feature that you guys can shop like items to the ones that I found. So you guys can click that link in the description box. Oh, I got this top from Madewell. Let's try this one on. This one's actually thicker than I thought it was gonna be. I really like it. I thought it was fun with the little pom-poms. It made like this top more interesting. Originally $95, I got it for $38.60. And a tip I have when you're shopping on ThredUp, I like to put in my sizes. That's gonna filter, I mean, they have thousands of products, so you've gotta filter it down somehow to find things that are gonna fit you and that you're actually looking for. So I filter by my sizes and then I scroll down and click like new and new with tags. That'll further filter all of the like best quality items. And I got some loafers. I would rate, ooh, these are from Madewell too. These were regularly $127. I got them for $45.32. Look how cute these are. I love these. Kind of like an effortless silky blouse, if you will. Like a silky blouse like this is great to layer, so I can throw a jacket on and then look like really put together. And I've worn the same pants for all 3 of these shirts, and I have 3 different outfits. This one was regularly $27. I got it for $16.40. So this more form-fitting dress is from Zara, but wasn't gonna wear it alone. I was thinking I could layer a sweater over it, and I thought it would be like super cute. Let's see. Like I could even like belt it up like that so it's a little shorter. Maybe with some my black loafers. The slit on it is a little higher than I thought. I think I'm just not used to it. I love chunky knits like this. So normally with ThredUp, my code is only usually for 30%. They have an even better discount for us this time. You can get 35% off your first ThredUp order and shop all of the things that I looked for, that I got. If you liked some of the items, you can click the link in my description box and use promo code MaCenna35 for 35% off your first order. I think I'm gonna go with this top. I love this. Just neutral. It's very much my vibe.
Okay, I have finally gotten everything set up. Like, there's a lot happening. So mom's all ready. We got the mics, the fire going, the camera, and I'm gonna use this camera to have another view. So we will catch up to you after we film.
We talked for like an hour and a half.
But I think we still have things to talk about.
Well, I hope we have things to talk about.
We talk more than an hour a day.
We're talking right now.
I know. Are you filming?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was a good one though. We talked about horror stories. I feel like we took a while to remember the horror. It took me a while. I should have wrote them down. Did this help? Did you look at it?
I think it helped more just getting in our mind before we did it.
It's true.
Then
I didn't really
read
look
it.
at our sign. This was
No.
our sign.
I couldn't read it. Look at that. Look. Does this look like our handwriting? That looks like scribble.
Well, yeah.
I couldn't read that.
I was in let's do it mode. This is how I write for myself. That's not bad. The scribble's bad. I think it was good.
It wasn't for me. It was for you.
It's true.
I can't talk and read at the same time. You can.
I use keywords to remind myself.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, but it took us a while to remember the horror stories. I forgot that stuff about the roofer. I definitely remembered the plumber stealing our stuff. Go listen to the episode. Mom has some bad horror stories, like ones that cost her a lot of money, a lot of frustration, and it was really good. So it'll be out in 2 weeks.
It was all worth it. It was all worth it.
Of course, because she's about to do it again. Hopefully this one goes well. We're gonna go a little bit shopping. Kinsley, you were so good. Look at this sweet honey.
I did it again to you guys. I forgot to put my mic back on after I filmed the podcast. I do that every time. So we're on our way somewhere. Where are we going? Thrifting. Head to the craft store. Go to the craft store and the hardware store. Oh, I forgot my list. And I went all the way back with the mic. Yeah, no, I'll think about it on the way to the long drive to the hardware store. And we're gonna go eat because we're hungry. I did another dumb thing. I went back to the house for my mic, and then we got almost to the highway, and I realized it's Tuesday. Yesterday was President's Day, so it feels like Monday. Totally threw me off. Totally forgot I was supposed to post my vlog, so we had to go back to the house. Mom sat in the car, and I got my vlog live. Can't leave you guys hanging. So now we're finally on the way. Where are we going? Let's go to the thrift shop first, because they don't close until 5. We've made it. Can't believe I forgot my video, you guys. It was uploading when I left. Yesterday was a holiday, so it just like threw me off. We have horrible service in this town too. Yay, it's live. Okay. Now we can go see what the thrift store has. We only got 30 minutes now. What's $85? It's never too early to start shopping for Christmas. I honestly feel like a lot of people donate their Christmas things after Christmas. Like, I feel like you can find some things. It's looking a little sparse though. Obviously, it's February. We're breaking stuff over here. Oh, something. For $1, it could be yours. I don't even know what we're looking for. We're just like looking. What is this? $12. It's kind of pretty though. You want a bowl for your coffee table, Mom? She has a huge coffee table though. She needs like large, oversized things. What is a top pop? Top pop.
Hello guys, it's the next day. I have literally spent, it's like the afternoon now, late afternoon. I have spent the entire day
replanning these cabinet doors. Now, by the time you see this, my vlogs are filmed a little bit ahead of a renovation video because I'm like filming gearing up for them and stuff. So by the time you see this, a lot of these kitchen things will be done because I have been planning them all day. Hey, what? She's excited because I just got home. What? So I just went to the hardware store and spent another $600 on wood to finish these cabinet fronts and the drawer inserts. So the cabinet fronts need a specific size wood, and then the drawer inserts, you know, like these things, like the actual insert that the cabinet front attaches to, that's what holds the silverware and all the organization stuff. So that also needs a different size wood, and I'm using all pine, which is a little softer than if you use a poplar or a harder wood, but it could get really costly really quickly. So I feel like the pine is like a smooth wood. It's very acceptable, and it's not as like low end as a common board. You'll see like common boards that are really like knotty and not heavy. Like they'll have a lot of like things in them, you know, like veins and knots, wood knots and things. So they're not a smooth finish at all. And the Select Pine boards offer a great medium. So I went to the hardware store, I replanned all day. Like, look at this. Like, I've got all my numbers, all my measurements of exactly what I need to cut. I've got my guide to exactly which cabinet door is which. I've got of course, my renovation to-do list, and I'm giving myself a week and a half. So I just started filming this Sunday's video. I filmed a portion of it this morning, and then spent the rest of the day like gathering materials and you know, just planning. It's like a whole day of just planning what you're supposed to do, you know. So, oh my God, I got really excited because they color matched this tile for me, and I got so excited because it looks so good. You see that little dot? That's the paint color that they color source. So I took this with me, and they put it in a little machine, and they pull out the base color that's in this. I know that that's not an incredible theory of idea of like technology, but it's so cool because I was like looking at all the paint samples, and I was like, I just don't see one that has these undertones. It's like a green undertone with splashes of blue and brown. It's like a weird color. And so they color matched it, and it looks so good. Like, I want to paint something this color. Even though it's very similar to Millstone Gray, and I painted in there, but like, that's why I picked this tiles, because it was complementing to that color. But it's like, like it's dreamy. It's like a green brown. It's incredible. So when she did it, I was like, wow. So that's what I did all day today. And now the sun is about to be setting, and I feel like I have accomplished things, but not quite enough. I'm feeling like I need a cup of coffee because I've been doing so much. So let's make some coffee, shall we? The floor is also in here. So good. They need like just until tomorrow really, and then I can put everything back. So, like I said in the video, if you saw it, I've given myself a week and a half to finish the kitchen. That's because there are definitely days at the beginning of next week that I could paint all the cabinet doors. So if I just don't think about any other projects, just dive in, there's gonna be a 2-part finishing our kitchen series. Yes, I'm going to get a plumber out here. If it kills me, it's gotta be done. And then we can finally move on from this area. And I wanna move into this area next and really finish this whole side of the house. Like, I feel like moving into the coffee bar and the pantry and doing that, finishing that up will be like really nice because it is really part of the kitchen. So after we finish the cabinet doors and things, we can do that too. Well, you guys, I have been sitting here spending the last 2 hours looking online at coffee tables. I don't know how many coffee tables I'm gonna look at before I feel like I don't know. I tend to design things in my head and then they don't actually exist in real life. So that's why I do so many DIY projects, because I want something like different and I want what's in my head to be reality. I don't know if I want to make my coffee table. I did see one. It was glass topped. Here, let me show you. Get your thoughts. I wanted like brass wood or wood and something. It's like a turned brass or like cast iron with, you know, like a brass coloring, and it's very like twisted, and it has kind of the like semicircle kind of meeting at the bottom, and it is glass topped, but it looks a little bit smoky, or maybe that's me again designing it in my head. I feel like something like that maybe in like a square, because I feel like this area is so large. I feel like we need more, like big. I feel like it can support a big coffee table. So I'm thinking like that, or I also was looking at something that was fabric, more like an ottoman type coffee table. I feel like that would look really good in this space, but it would be a lot of fabric. Slip covered chairs. We obviously have our couch. We have the poofs, and then we would also have that. I just feel like I wanted something a little like harder on the eye. But we could do a DIY coffee table like that. Like it could be a DIY ottoman. I can find some feet, make a platform, and then like, you know, cover it. These are all things that go through my head at night, you know? Like I work on so many projects in my head at the same time. I spend a couple of nights every week just looking for a coffee table. And I feel like that's really what I need. And also the 2 chairs. But I feel like the chairs are going to be easier than the coffee table. The coffee table has been a little hard. So I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog and seeing a little behind the scenes of the podcast. Kinsley's always on the podcast. Yeah, you really are. I love my new clothes I got from ThreadUp too. So you guys don't forget to check out my link in my description box to actually see like items of the things that I have. And you can get 35% off, and even like an extra 35% off of already the amazing savings with code MaCenna35. 35% off your first order. I will see you guys again in a few days for another vlog. Tomorrow I will be doing cabinet doors and doing little things over there for the renovation video. I think we got this. I may even get up the gumption to call a new plumber tomorrow. Who knows? Bye, guys.
So I'll keep turning it around till I forget all